The Student Toolbox. It is myOrganized.life live, August 19th, 2019. Well, hello, welcome to myOrganized.life live. I'm John Hunt, and of course, Leanne Thompson. Now, Leanne was going to take part of the week off, but decided at the last minute. I got a text yesterday that said, we're taking the whole week off, going up to the cabin, so she's off this week, and I'm going to put a few shows together. It won't be as good without the banter going on here, but we do have a lot of good things for you this week, including today we're talking about the Student Toolbox. Now, this was something we talked about with professional organizer Leslie Josell back in episode number 210 of the Keeping You Organized podcast. Now, you can go over to sme.com/podcast and scroll down to number 210. It's actually part 2 of a 2-part podcast where we talked about getting ready for exams and taking tests. So let's hear what Leslie Josell has to say about the Student Toolbox.
Everything has a system. Mm-hmm. Everything is either do this in 3 steps, do these 4 steps. Because what I find is when a student has steps to follow and they don't have to do the heavy lifting. Remember last episode, we talked about the brain where your kid might be at 2 pounds, but what you're asking them to do is 10 pounds.
Yes.
But if you lay out a defined system for them to follow, then you're slowly exercising the brain from 2 pound to 3 pounds. Nice. You're not going 2 pound to 10 pound, which you're setting them up to fail.
Okay.
So Student Toolbox. So what do I mean by that? So we all learn using different, learning either lift different styles. Some people say different senses. Mm-hmm. And the 4 senses that I like to talk about are seeing it, saying it, hearing it, and doing it.
Yeah.
So think about it. The more you can bring in those 4 senses to anything you do, the more you're going to lay down learning.
Right. I think even in elementary schools, when they try to teach them songs, they give them motions. So they're saying it, they're reading the words, and then they're doing the motions. So I think I know there's got to be research behind that, but I totally am on board with you on that.
It's all research based.
Yeah.
So my biggest joke for me is, and I say this to my students, is that when I was in college, okay, and I'm way, way out of college, I had to learn the Greek alphabet. And the only way I could memorize it was to put it to music. And I'm 50 years old and I can still sing it. And if you had asked me to say it, I couldn't, but because it's to music, I can still go alpha, right. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta. I'm not going to do it for you, right. But you know what I mean? So there is definitely a study sense that I use to learn that. Right. So what research shows us is the more senses, the more of those tools you can put into what it is you want to learn, you'll lay down your learning better, and you'll also then most likely do better on an exam. Okay,
there you go. The Student Toolbox. I wish she would have actually sang the song for us on there, but you can go over to sme.com/podcast. Scroll down. This was from episode number 210, but number 209 and 210, a 2-part episode on getting ready for school, studying for exams, and of course we talked about the Student Toolbox, one of the many tools that students can use. So, that's it for today. Again, Leanne won't be back tomorrow, but I will be back for another edition here of myOrganized.life Live.